Shalom, family. Can you see the second Exodus taking shape? Point number one, I'm going to take you through some patterns. Y'all remember when I told you the whole book, the Torah, is based on all patterns and they continue to repeat. Point one, Egypt is the template for all future judgments. Yah uses Egypt as the master pattern for how he judges nations. Every future collapse follows this blueprint. Egypt was the world's superpower. Israel was oppressed and powerless. Yah intentionally prolonged the destruction process. I'm talking about what happened in Egypt. And the purpose was not just deliverance, it was revelation. He wanted Egypt, Israel, and all the nations to know that he is Yah. Modern nations are repeating Egypt's arrogance, believing their systems are unshakable, believing that Israel has no protector, believing their gods, their science, and their institutions are superior. But this pattern has not changed. Egypt is the prophetic template. Every nation that rises against the covenant people eventually comes or becomes Egypt. And every Egypt eventually meets the same end. Point number two. The nations appear to get away with world atrocities. That's because judgment is being staged. What looks like delay is not mercy for the nations. It's a setup. Yah is arranging the fall so that when it happens, no one can claim it was by the hands of humans. So judgment is not random. It's not reactionary. It's not emotional. It's strategic. It's timed. It's staged for maximum revelation, just like Egypt. Egypt's crimes increased. Their arrogance increased. Their confidence in their system increased. Their belief that Israel had no defender increased. That was not because Yah was absent. It was because he was setting the stage. Now the modern nations commit oppression, theft, deception, violence, exploitation, and it looks like nothing happens to them. But watch what the pattern says. The longer the stage is set, the more undeniable the collapse becomes. I'm going to show y'all just how close we are to that second Exodus. The more glory Yah receives, the more the remnant understands the timing. That delay is not weakness. It's the Most High's precision. When judgment is delayed, it's not because the nations are strong. It's because Yah is preparing a fall so complete that no one can claim the credit. Point three, if the nations fell by human hands, then humans would take the glory. Yah delays judgment because if the collapse happened through normal human means, people would explain it away. He removes every human explanation so that the fall is undeniably his alone. If a nation collapsed because of economic recession, political division, civil war, foreign invasion, internal corruption, social unrest, people would say things like, it was geopolitics, it was economics, it was bad leadership, it was a natural cycle, it was human strategy. In other words, humans would take the credit. But when Yah judges the nations, the timing is impossible to predict. The events don't follow normal patterns. The collapse doesn't match human logic. The outcome cannot be reversed. No one can claim responsibility. This is why he hardened Pharaoh's heart to remove all human explanations. This is why he let Egypt rise so high, so the fall would be unmistakably divine. This is why he lets modern nations appear untouchable, so that when he moves, the world will know that it was him. Every time an analysis says this nation is too powerful to fall, this system is too advanced to collapse, this empire is too stable to fall, they are repeating the same arrogance Egypt had. And every time people say if judgment was real, something would have happened by now, they are revealing that same thing, that they don't understand or see that pattern. Remember when I told y'all that the entire Torah is based on patterns? Keep watching. Yah waits until the pride is full, the crimes are full, the arrogance is full, the stage is set. Then he acts in a way that no human can claim. When humans can explain the fall, Yah's not the one who brought it. When Yah brings the fall, humans are left speechless. Point number 4. The remnant must be positioned before the collapse. Y'all listen close. Yah never collapse a nation until the remnant is awakened. Excuse me, let me do something real quick. So Yah never collapses a nation until the remnant is awakened and separated and positioned. Judgment and deliverance always move together. One prepares the stage for the other. Before Egypt fell, several things had to happen first. Number 1, Israel had to be awakened. They had to remember who they were. They had to cry out. They had to reject Egyptian identity. They had to reject Egyptian gods. They had to reject Egyptian culture. They had to identify all their identity, which had to be restored before judgment. So number 2, Israel had to be separated. So they were placed in Goshen. They were marked, distinguished, protected. They were set apart according to the pattern. judgment never hits until the remnant is visibly separated from the nations that's being judged. Israel had to be prepared to move, so they needed instructions, leadership, timing, unity, and readiness. A nation cannot fall while the remnant is still entangled in its systems. Israel had to witness the setup, so they watched the plagues escalate, the system weaken, the gods of Egypt collapse, the pride of Pharaoh increase, the stage being set. This witnessing was part of their preparation. The same pattern is repeating today, right before your very eyes. I see it. Before modern nations collapse, the remnant must awaken. The remnant must separate mentally and spiritually. The remnant must reject the nation's identities. The remnant must return to covenant, Torah. Hear me, Christians. The remnant must be positioned. This is the reason why the delay exists. It's not for the nations. It's for the remnant. The collapse cannot come until the remnant is marked, the remnant is distinguished, the remnant is ready to move, and the remnant understands the pattern. This is why you see the awakening, identity restoration, the return to the covenant, prophetic clarity, global exposure, systems weakening, and nations trembling. These are not random events. These are pre-collapse signals. Yah does not collapse a nation while his remnant is still asleep inside of it. Awakening comes first. Positioning comes next. And judgment comes last. Part one of this lesson. This lesson goes into the exact mechanics of how Yah stages his judgment. The prophetic timing behind the delay, the ancient patterns that repeat within modern nations, the remnant's role in the collapse, the psychology of the nations as they rise and fall, the strategic purpose behind every phase. This is going to hit with some weight. Why the nations seem to escape judgment. The Egypt pattern in real time. Shalom, family. Today I'm going to walk you through a pattern that most people never see. This is why they come to my channel and they argue with me, because I see something they don't see. Because they're reading the world through emotion instead of through covenant. They're reacting to headlines instead of recognizing prophecy. They're looking at wickedness and assuming silence means approval. But the Most High is not silent. He's not absent, and he's not slow. He's strategic. And once you understand the pattern he established with Egypt, you will understand exactly why the nations look untouchable right now and why that illusion is part of their downfall. Let's get deep. Egypt is the template for all future judgments. Family, Egypt was not just an historical event. Egypt is the master pattern. Every judgment that comes after Egypt follows the exact same structure. The rise, the arrogance, the oppression, the hardening, and then the exposure, the collapse, and then deliverance. Yah could have ended Egypt in one night. He could have snapped Pharaoh like a twig. He could have delivered Israel instantly, but he didn't. Why not? Because he wanted the fall to be undeniably divine. He wanted Egypt to know. He wanted Israel to know. And he wanted the nations to know that I am Yah. He stretched the process out so long that no one could say it was political instability, it was economic downturn, it was military weakness. No, it was Yah. And that pattern, that slow, deliberate, escalating judgment is the same exact pattern unfolding today. The nations appear to get away with their wickedness because judgment is being staged. So let me be very specific here. When you see corruption, violence, oppression, deception, exploitation, and wickedness in high places and nothing seems to happen, that's not because Yah is ignoring it. It's because he's building a case. Judgment is not emotional. It's not impulsive. It's not random. Judgment is timed. It's layered. It's staged. Just like Egypt, the Most High allows the nations to reach the height of their arrogance, expose their own wickedness, reveal their true nature, to harden their own hearts, double down on their crimes, believe they are untouchable. Do you see this right now? It's all over the news. So why does he delay? Because when he finally moves, the fall will be so complete that no one can claim it was human. This delay is not mercy for the nations. That delay is the setup. Part 2. The prophetic mechanics of judgment. How Yah collapses nations. The hidden process behind that delay. Now that we've established why the nations appear to escape judgment, let's go deeper, much deeper. We're going to the mechanics, the inner workings of how Yah collapses a nation, not the emotional version, not the Christian overlay version, not the Hollywood version. We're going with the Torah pattern, the prophetic structure, the divine process that repeats every generation. Let's break it down. The mechanics of number 1. Judgment begins with exposure, not destruction. Before Yah destroys a nation, he first exposes it. Then he brings hidden corruption to the surface, secret wickedness into the open, private sins, Jeffrey Epstein, into public view, concealed agendas into the light. This is why you see leaks, scandals, whistleblowers, internal divisions, global embarrassment, leaders contradicting each other. Excuse me. Exposure is not judgment. Exposure is the announcement that judgment has begun. Egypt was exposed before it was destroyed. Go back and look at the pattern. Modern nations are exposed right now. The mechanics, number 2. The Most High hardens the systems, not just the leader. People think Pharaoh was the only one hardened, but Torah shows that the entire system was hardened. Why? Because a soft system can repent. A hardened system cannot. A hardened system doubles down. They refuse correction. They mock the warnings, like these Christians that come to my channel. They increase oppression. They escalate wickedness, becomes blind to its own downfall. This is why nations today ignore sins. They mock prophecy. They increase their wickedness. They pass laws against righteousness, and they celebrate rebellion. They are being hardened for this collapse. Mechanics, number 3. Judgment moves in phases, not all at once. Egypt didn't fall in one blow. It fell in stages. Each stage targeted a different part of their system. It exposed a different weakness. It humiliated a different one of their gods. It removed a different layer of stability. The same thing is happening today. You will see economic instability, are you not? You will see political chaos, are you not? You will see social division, are you not? You will see natural disasters, are you not? You will see military weakness, are you not? Global embarrassment, are you not? Internal collapse, yes, all of the above. These are not random events. These are the phases. Each phase removes a pillar until the nation cannot stand. Mechanic number 4. Judgment targets the gods of the nation. Each nation has a god. Let me list some of their gods. Money, dollar decline, military power, science, technology, nationalism, political ideology, celebrity culture. In Egypt, every plague targeted a specific god. The Nile, the sun, the livestock, the crops, the firstborn. Yah dismantles a nation by dismantling its gods. Watch carefully. Economies are shaking. Currencies are weakening. Y'all hear this every single day. Militaries are overstretched. Governments are unstable. Science is confused. Technology is failing. Leaders are being exposed. Am I not telling you the truth? This is no coincidence. This is surgical judgment. Mechanic number 5. Judgment accelerates suddenly after a long delay. This is part of that shocks the people, because judgment feels slow until it suddenly becomes fast. Egypt went from stable, powerful, confident, to crippled, terrified, and collapsing in a matter of days. That delay was long, but the collapse was quick. This is why the prophets say in 1 hour, suddenly, without warning, like a thief. The long delay is the setup. You're watching the setup unfold right in your face. The sudden collapse is the strike. Mechanics number 6. The remnant is moved into position before the final blow. Not all of Israel, the remnant only. They are moved into position before the final blow. This is why it's critical that you understand which book is written for you and get out of that New Testament. because the remnant is moved into position before the final blow, not all of Israel. This is the most important mechanic. Before the last plague, Israel was gathered. They were marked. They were separated. They were instructed, and they got ready. The nation fell after the remnant was positioned. This is why the awakening today is happening. The identity is returning. The covenant is being restored. The scattered are recognizing themselves. The remnant is gaining clarity. I see it come to my channel daily. The collapse is waiting for the remnant, not the other way around. Mechanic number 7. The collapse designed to be unmistakably divine. When the final blow comes, no analyst will be able to explain it. No politician will be able to prevent it. No military can stop it. No economist can predict it. No nation can recover from it. This is why Yah says, I will get glory over Pharaoh. He collapses nations in a way that removes human explanations. He removes political narratives. He removes economic theories. He removes military excuses. The fall becomes a testimony. Family, once you understand these mechanics, you'll stop asking, why does it look like nothing is happening? And you'll start realizing everything is happening, just not the way you expect. The nations are escaping judgment. They're not escaping judgment. They're being prepared for it. And the remnant, the awakened, restored, the covenant-rooted remnant is being positioned to witness it. That is the pattern. This is the process. This is the moment we are living in. Wake up. Do not oversleep. Part 3. The signs that nations is in its final stage. When covenant is broken, desolation follows. Every nation walks a path. Some rise in covenant, some fall in corruption. And when the final stage comes, the signs are clear, if we have eyes to see. Sign number 1, loss of justice. When rulers exalt themselves above the people, justice is lost. Do we see equality, or do we see oppression? Without justice, a nation cannot stand. Sign number 2, corruption of worship. When divine order is replaced by human invention, worship becomes corrupted. When worship is corrupted, the covenant is broken. Sign number 3, the decay of truth. When overlays and traditions obscure the original word, Torah, truth decays. We must hold up scripture. We must show how additions distort clarity. Truth decayed is covenant denied. Sign number 4, scattering of the people. When unity dissolves, the people scatter, and the land becomes desolate. Yet even in the final stage, the remnant is preserved. Restoration waits. The second Exodus will gather those who remain faithful. I don't know how to make this any more clear. If you can't see all of these signs And there's a whole lot more, but it's too many for me to sit here and list. All of these are precursors. They're phases and stages because the Exodus is just around the corner. Shalom.